What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be doing the disassembly and maintenance for the CJRB Nova. Let's get into it. All right, guys, I do have both of these here, but I'm only going to record the first one for our video purposes. So I do recommend WeHop bits and drivers. I like using Hops gun oil, and I believe the applicator I'm using is linked down below. I still haven't had any luck finding a nicer applicator, so I am going to probably go back and just pick up the Hops gun oil. I liked this one because it fit in the tool roll, but I haven't been able to just find like a refillable one. I recall these being T8s here, and I do have the T6 out here because the pocket clip screw is a T6, and that's the one that goes into the stand off to the other side, which is a T8. So I don't mind pocket clips being T6. You know, I would love for all of it to be T8 construction, but long as the machining on the hardware is really good on the T6 and it's not going to strip, I'm okay with that. You are saving money here by them using steel construction. It is a budget knife, so that's to be expected. I'm going ahead and removing all the hardware first. That's how I roll for my disassembly. I'm just going to put that there. And then I'm hoping the pivot will just spin freely on this side, but I guess not. It looks like it's going to come out on this side. So I will flip that on the other side because I do like to disassemble it from the pocket clip side. So we're just going to go ahead, since we're here, I'm going to go ahead and doesn't seem like, let me try this. Doesn't seem like the pivot wants to easily come out. There we go. All right, so that came out. I will flip that over to the other side. Let me go ahead and just take all of this out. I'm sorry that it's falling apart like that, but I'm going to go ahead and flip. Oh, these are tiny bearings too. I'm going to go ahead and take off the scale and the liner, and then I'll show you what I'm doing over here. Oh, so you know what? I said in the unboxing that it's not a captive pivot, and it's not, but it's definitely one screw construction on the pivot itself. I need to go ahead and clean it while I have it apart. I don't know why on earth I was sitting here getting ready to put it all together and not even clean here. So you have steel liners. Oh, wait. This might be captive, guys. Can you see it? It's D-shaped there. Is this pivot? Oh, look at that. They did make it captive. Man, look at CJRB listening to the feedback. That is awesome. I'm not going to do any tuning to the detent on this one because I really liked the way mine was tuned. So that is great. It looks like there we go. The bearings are not coming out. They are at least not stamped. They are enclosed bearings, which is fine. Those will work just fine. Ooh, it looks like they burnt the blade a little bit there. You guys see that? It looks a little burnt where they sanded it out. You guys got to be careful with that. Yeah, it's like burnt here where they sanded it for the lock bar, but as long as it didn't affect the blade or its edge or anything like that. Ugh, I don't know what that is. My goodness, issues. All right, so these are clean. I do have my Q-tip here to clean the detent ball hole. And that had some dirt in it. Let's flip it to the other side. And yeah, it looks nice and clean now. All right, so now that I think everything is cleaned off, I don't know what is going on there. You can see all the milling holes. For those scale makers out there that may or may not be interested in this one, I don't think I get too much on the budget. On this side, it looks like it's recessed for the screws, so I would imagine it'll be like that on both sides. All right, let's go ahead and get the lube. I'm just gonna put it on this side first and then work that around. Since it is captive though, I am gonna have to put it back together the way that it came, because that is how it's going to keep from spinning. The captive pivot doesn't go all the way through, or the flat part of it doesn't go all the way through. So this being the side that has the D shape to it, I'm going to have to put it back together the way that it came, guys, which does make it a little bit of a challenge. It's not awful, but it makes it a little bit of a challenge. All right, so I went ahead and lubed up the bearings. I will also go ahead and just drop a dab of lube right there in front of the detent ball hole. Go ahead and reinstall all of this. Should go together nicely. Stop pin feels good. Just going to go ahead. I'm trying to keep my fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so the D shape facing straight there. Go ahead and close this so I can clamp it all together. No, what is the matter? It doesn't feel like it's seating. Let's try putting one T8 screw in here and just see if that'll work. Okay. All right now. Didn't want to let go of my bolt here, my screw. All right, and now let's put the pivot in and check and make sure everything's okay. Then we'll tune the action. Didn't look like it had any thread locker. Sorry, not anti-seize. It didn't look like it had any thread locker going on, and it came unbolted pretty easily. We are mostly centered, but I do feel like I might have over tightened that slightly. All right, no play. Woo, that access to the lock bar, boy. It is tight. That feels good. Let's go ahead and throw the screws. The pocket clip, not the screws. Let's throw the pocket clip back on. That way you guys can see the entire process. Everything's kind of settling. The good thing too, I guess, if you really wanted to, it is a flat pocket clip here, so it should be able to take either of the titanium, the mill titanium pocket clips from Kaiser or CJRB or from Civivi. I think all of them have one for like $10. So you could dress it up that way. Nice and centered. Detent still feels crisp. The access to the lock bar is a little tight, and I am feeling a little grittiness. So I hope I didn't put too much lube on there. Now I'm still feeling the grittiness, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up because I do have the other one that I'd like to disassemble and clean as well. And then I'm gonna put these into the rotation and carry them, do some cutting with them, and I'll let you guys know how they perform. I really thought that was a pretty easy disassembly. I would probably say my only piece of advice and what I'm going to do differently for the second one is I'm just going to use the T8 and take it all apart from the show side. Since the captive pivot doesn't go all the way through, it's only captive on the show side, even though the piece that's captive comes through on the pocket clip side. But these are really interesting. I'm looking forward to spending some time with them and getting to kind of put them through their paces. I think like my biggest complaint is going to be that lock bar access. And that might be why it feels gritty, is because I'm kind of having to like push it in and slide it over. It needs just a little bit more relief right there. I think a little bit more relief right there on the scale would make this absolutely perfect. But man, it's breaking in nicely. It's not coming loose, but the lube's working its way in already. All right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching to this point of the video. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you follow along. Leave that like on the way out. It does help the algorithm. Thank you to my channel members. That loyal support that you provide, I really do appreciate. I hope you have a fantastic week, guys. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.